Sometimes country's biggest stars are making headlines that have nothing to do with their music.
It was shocking.
Everybody's gonna have an opinion.
People make their own assumptions about things.
And over the years, they have been generous enough to share their real story with us on this broadcast.
I'm going to talk about this for the very first time, actually.
Like a woman.
In 2013, Shania Twain was headlining a new show in Las Vegas.
This is the larger-than-life Shania.
They didn't look so big, because I'm kind of
Tall.
She shared with me the trauma of growing up with what she says was an abusive stepfather.
We had a problem, and that problem was, psychologically devastating and traumatic for me.
And the country superstar was ready to open up about her very public divorce to her manager and husband, who she says cheated on her with her closest friend.
It's been 5 years. Have you forgiven him?
I'm not, forgiving. I'm still mad. I'll probably be mad forever.
In an ironic twist straight out of a country music song, Shania eventually married French executive Frédéric Thibault, the husband of the other woman.
He's my best friend, but he's a real sexy best friend. That's so important because, you don't want to just be friends with your husband, right?
No. Today, the two are celebrating 7 years of marriage. Shania is currently touring Europe, promoting her 5th studio album, Now.
Life's about to get good.
LeAnn Rimes was the child star of the phenomenon Blue.
Why can you be blue over me?
In 2010, she was now 28, and she invited me into her home to set the record straight about a story that was making tabloid headlines.
Was there one tabloid story that you picked up and you're like, that just...
One? I think the biggest one, the first one that started out, was the fact that I was a stalker. I was like, really?
Well, I have to...
The fact that anyone would print that would actually even talking to my side, it was shocking.
Do you want to have sex?
Excuse me?
While acting in the film Northern Lights,
I find you cute. You find me hot.
there were reports she had an affair with her co-star, Eddie Cibrian, while both she and Cibrian were married.
You had two couples whose marriages didn't work, who really stumbled upon each other and fell in love. And never, ever was I thinking of hurting someone.
For the first time, both she and Eddie sat down together for an interview.
We're madly in love.
And showed me their new life as a couple. 2 years later, LeAnn was now married to Eddie, and she returned to In the Spotlight to explain her recent visit to rehab and how it stemmed from her incredible success too early.
I wasn't a kid. It's as simple as that and so complicated at the same time.
8 years later, Eddie and LeAnn are still together. This year, she released a new EP called Reimagined.
And I will fall in love again because I can.
In 2011, Sugarland was one of country's top duos with 11 top 10 hits like Stuck Like Glue.
Whoa, stuck like glue. You and me, baby, we're stuck like glue.
Then came a shocking tragedy. Just before the band is to take the stage, high winds at the Indiana State Fair bring down the roof structure.
Hey, we need a
killing 7 and injuring 58 people.
Your brain didn't know what to do with it. It was just dust everywhere, and then sound. Everything shook like it was an earthquake.
Back then, for the first time, Jennifer Nettles and Kristian returned to the fairgrounds. It was an emotional trip as they showed me the aftermath and the makeshift memorial that was left.
Playing's what we do. So we can do that part.
Months later, the duo, who had been together for over 2 decades, shocked their fans and announced they were taking a break from Sugarland. Some speculated it was a permanent breakup.
It's fascinating, people's connection to drama and scandal, and wanting to, say that it was a breakup. It was never that. We wanted to go fill our cups with new things.
And their cups were both quite full. Within months of the tragedy, Jennifer got married and was soon expecting a son. At the same time, Kristian was going through a divorce from his wife of 12 years.
Layered challenge is a thing that hurts.
Well, and it's also a layered challenge because, in talking about what we do, people are interested in it. See, people have babies and get divorced every day, but nobody cares to read about it because it's just your cousin so-and-so. You know what I'm saying? Right. But when people care about your life in that way, that's also hard. That's hard.
After 5 long years apart, Sugarland was back. We talked to Sugarland on their new tour, promoting their 5th album, Bigger. And celebrating a hit song with an artist who's been a Sugarland superfan since their early days. This year, the Taylor Swift collaboration, Babe, is a top 10 hit and is up for CMA Video of the Year. It's been 7 years since the collapse, but only recently have the pair been able to openly discuss it. With pending lawsuits, they couldn't even contact their fans who had been injured or lost friends and family.
Hi, Jennifer. Thankfully, we are in a place now where we can be human about it. You have to understand, this was something that we all experienced together. We had crew who were injured. We were about to go. The whole thing was quite traumatic. And even recently, on this tour, we did an outside gig, and it was very rainy, and it was very, very windy. And I had basically a PTSD moment. I grabbed his hand and just drew him over to the side and said, I'm freaking out right now. This was something that was traumatic for all of us, and for us to be denied the opportunity to be able to make that human connection was hard. So getting able to do that now is so healing, so healing.